In this video, we'll be taking a look at 3 college football games happening on November 12, 2022, and providing you with free team picks and total picks for each one of those games. So 2 picks for each game, 6 picks in total. Welcome back to Cash Out Sports. Let's dive right into it. Oh, and don't forget to subscribe and to click the bell icon to get notified as soon as these videos get released, so that you have more time to plan out your bets as we provide these videos on a daily basis. I can guarantee that you'll have all the important information that you'll need on these 3 college football games after fully watching this video. One more thing before we start. If you would like to gain access to our best exclusive betting picks to take your sports betting journey to the next level, then check out our Patreon in the link down below, where we offer anywhere from 1 betting pick a day up to 10 betting picks a day and much more. Now let's get started. TCU versus Texas. The state of Texas will play host to an epic Big 12 showdown on Saturday night that will have college football playoff ramifications. Texas Christian University travels to Austin to take on the Texas Longhorns, hoping to keep their perfect season intact. The Horned Frogs are 9-0 on the season and 5-0 in the conference following their 34-24 win over Texas Tech on Saturday. Meanwhile, the Longhorns seem to be hitting their stride as they return to health and sit at 6-3 overall and 4-2 in the conference, and will now do battle with their 3rd straight top 25 opponent. The Horned Frogs are 3-0-1 against the spread in their last 4 road games and 7-1-1 against the spread in their last 9 games overall. The Longhorns are 5-1 against the spread in their last 6 home games and 7-3 against the spread in their last 10 games overall. The over is 6-2 in Horned Frogs' last 8 games overall. The under is 5-1 in Longhorns' last 6 home games. The Horned Frogs are 4-1 against the spread in their last 5 meetings in Texas and 6-2 against the spread in their last 8 meetings. TCU will try and keep their amazing, undefeated season going as they travel to Austin to face the Texas Longhorns. TCU was snubbed in the first college football playoff rankings, being the only undefeated team left out of the top 6 spots, and the Horned Frogs would likely need to be an undefeated Big 12 champion to clinch a playoff berth. For Texas, a win would help their quest for their first 9-win regular season since 2018, and maybe a shot at a New Year's Six Bowl with some help. If Texas wants that to happen, they will need a defensive performance equal to the one they gave against Alabama in Week 2. TCU quarterback Max Duggan leads the Big 12 in passing yards. TCU also leads the conference in rushing yards per game. They come at you for all 60 minutes and average over 70 plays per game on offense. The Longhorns will have to do exactly what they did to Alabama, which is force them to punt on 6 consecutive drives, including forcing 4 consecutive 3-and-out drives. The Tide still manage over 370 yards of offense in that game. TCU is one of just 5 Power 5 offenses in the country that averages over 500 yards of offense per game. It will be very difficult for the Longhorns to keep the Horned Frogs off the scoreboard. Defensively, TCU will have to slow down a Texas offense that is 2nd in the Big 12 rushing yards. Texas running back Bijan Robinson leads the conference in rushing yards and could control the pace up front. For all that Texas has done to get back on the national stage, Steve Sarkisian is not a good against the spread coach. The Longhorns failed to cover as 6.5-point favorites at Oklahoma State, 7-point favorites at Texas Tech, and 15.5-point favorites hosting Iowa State. Their 2 covers over a field goal in conference play came against the bottom feeders of the conference at Oklahoma and versus West Virginia. This is too many points, as Texas has given up late leads in the second half in 2 of the last 3 weeks, and I don't trust Sarkisian. This line makes absolutely no sense to me, to be completely honest. So the TCU Horned Frogs to cover the spread as underdogs is our full game side pick. Sometimes it feels like the totals can't be high enough in the Big 12 Conference. TCU is the 5th highest scoring team in the country, and the Longhorns check in at 15th. Ewers gives the Longhorns the ability to go score for score with the highly potent Horned Frogs offense. Despite both teams having high-powered ground attacks, the fireworks will likely come through the air with 2 defenses that are ranked in the bottom 3rd in the country in passing defense. The over is 8-1 in the Horned Frogs' last 9 games versus a team with a winning record. Over the projected total is our full game total pick. Florida State versus Syracuse. The Florida State Seminoles collide with the Syracuse Orange in an Atlantic Coast Conference battle on Saturday night. The Seminoles recorded a road win against Miami, Florida last week. The Orange were dealt a road loss by Pittsburgh in their previous action. Florida State recorded a 33-30 home win against Syracuse last season. Florida State is 6-0 against the spread in their last 6 games. Syracuse is 9-3 against the spread in their last 12 home games. The under is 4-1 in the last 5 meetings played between Florida State and Syracuse. The under is 5-1 in the Seminoles' last 6 road games. The under is 5-1 in Syracuse's last 6 games. The Florida State Seminoles earned their second straight win in a 45-3 beatdown of the in-state rival Miami Hurricanes last week in Coral Gables. The win moved them up to 23rd in the college football playoff rankings and gives the Seminoles some momentum heading into their second consecutive conference road game this weekend when they travel to Syracuse. The Orange are trending in the exact opposite direction of the Seminoles currently, as they have lost 3 straight games to Clemson, Notre Dame, and Pitt. This will be the final home game in what has been a successful season for Syracuse. The Orange have played extremely well at home and have surpassed expectations to this point, but there is reason to think they benefited from somewhat of an easy schedule before their loss to Clemson. The Orange rank second in the Atlantic Coast Conference in scoring defense and allow just 18 points per conference game, but they have played just one top 5 offense in the conference to this point. Florida State, on the other hand, ranks 4th in the Atlantic Coast Conference in scoring defense and holds opponents to 20 points per game. The Seminoles have played 2 of the 4 top Atlantic Coast Conference offenses in front of them, so their defensive numbers have more substance in my opinion. Syracuse was impressive in its 31-7 opening week win over Louisville, but the Orange were fortunate to earn wins over Purdue and Virginia in the following weeks. They were also fortunate to face North Carolina State in the Wolfpack's first game without Devin Leary. Now, they welcome an extremely talented Florida State team to town with a quarterback in Jordan Travis that has thrown for 8 touchdowns and just 1 interception in the last 3 weeks and has one of the better big-time throw-to-turnover worth play ratios in the country per PFF. However, I still believe Syracuse has it in them, and so they are going to give Florida State a pushback here as the Orange have a top 15 defense, including the 6th best defense against the pass up to this point in the year. They'll be able to keep this a tight game, so the Syracuse Orange to cover the spread as underdogs is our full game side pick. Both teams have been getting to the quarterback and knocking the opposing offense out of scoring range as Florida State has 26 total sacks while Syracuse has 21 total sacks thus far. The Seminoles are not a great team at nailing their field goal attempts as sophomore place kicker Ryan Fitzgerald is just 8 of 3 on field goal attempts, including 2 of 4 on 40-plus yards, so they are not definite points when the special teams units come on the field. The Seminoles' top strength is the defense. They have allowed 23 or fewer points in 6 out of their 9 clashes on the season, and as mentioned, the Orange offense is slumping. They have registered an average of only 19.5 points in their last 4 games. In addition, these combatants will run more than pass, so expect longer possessions. Syracuse only averages 65.6 offensive plays per game, pegging them 108th. The Seminoles have one of the best pass defenses in the country, ranking 5th. The under is also 5-1 in the Orange last 6 games. I expect scoring to be at a premium in this game. Under the projected total is our full game total pick. Stanford versus Utah. The Stanford Cardinal will head to Salt Lake City and face the Utah Utes this Saturday from Rice-Eccles Stadium on ESPN. Utah and Stanford have met sporadically since the Utes joined the Pac-12 back in 2013. Utah has won all 4 matchups and leads the all-time series 6-4. The Cardinal are 1-6 against the spread in their last 7 road games and 8-22-1 against the spread in their last 31 games overall. The Utes are 5-1 against the spread in their last 6 home games and 8-3 against the spread in their last 11 games in November. The over is 6-2 in Cardinal last 8 conference games. The under is 5-2 in Utes last 7 games in November. The Cardinal are 0-4-1 against the spread in their last 5 meetings. The underdog is 3-1-1 against the spread in their last 5 meetings. The road team is 3-0-1 against the spread in their last 4 meetings. Stanford needs to win out to become bowl eligible, but with games at California and Brigham Young University remaining, getting there becomes a much more realistic possibility if they can upset Utah Saturday. The Utes are a far better team than Stanford, but this also will be a challenging game for the Utes to get up for. Utah plays no. 6 Oregon next week before ending the season against Colorado. Utah beat Stanford by 44 points last season, and Colorado is terrible, so it's hard not to believe that the Utes are not already thinking about Oregon. Stanford has nothing to lose in this situation and has only lost 1 game by more than 25 points. Stanford also only lost to USC by 13 points and only lost on the road to Oregon by 18 points this season. There are rumors that Stanford head coach David Shaw could be on the hot seat, but I see him rallying the troops here. Expect Stanford to compete and cover against a Utah team that wants to just get out of this game with a win and healthy. So the Stanford Cardinal to cover the spread as underdogs is our full game side pick. Stanford has not scored more than 16 points in any of their last 4 games, so it's hard to see Stanford getting past 20 points in this game. I see Utah putting up at most 30 points on the other side, which won't be enough to get this game in the mid-50s. The Utes have run the ball on 56% of their plays this season. Expect that number to be even higher against a Cardinal team that has struggled against the run. Utah also wants to keep Cameron Rising healthy for the Oregon game, and won't be concerned with embarrassing Stanford. Look for Utah to work the clock late. Under the projected total is our full game total pick. That's all for now, so if you have any other games you would like reviewed, then leave a comment down below with the game you would like analyzed. Subscribe to our channel, leave a like on this video, and we'll get to it as soon as we possibly can. We would also love to hear your opinion on the picks presented to you in this video, whether you agree or disagree with them, so leave a comment down below and do let us know.